Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the JRS Cars YouTube channel. In today's video, I have a small little pocket rocket from VW that packs a massive punch. That, my friends, is this Stage 1 tuned VW GT TDI. You can forget your small little puny 1 litre 3-cylinder engines. All you need in life is a VW TDI because, well, that's the best engine in the world. Be it a 2 litre, 1.9, 1.5, whatever. A VW diesel is the best because, well, Dieselgate, yo. Anyway, straight away, let's start with the styling of this car. So this car has been lightly modified in a very tasteful way. We have the blacked out VW logo and this blacked out honeycomb grille as well. GT badging over there. Talking about the headlights, we have this dual beam setup over here. Obviously halogens, but this car has been updated with LED lights. Moving to the side, we have these amazing GTR Pro rims, 16-inch wheels and tires on this vehicle. Moving to the side again, we have the blacked out rear view mirrors. And well, side profile looks really very nice and sporty. This car also has painted brake calipers and brake drums for that added sporty effect. Moving to the rear, again we have the same blacked out VW logo for the added aesthetic look. We also have quite a dark tint, adding to this vehicle's sporty and sleek appeal. We have the GT and TDI badging. Do note we have the red color eye, the most important in all VW TDI engines. Moving to the side, we also have the blacked out tail lights. Anyway, with that, let's move inside. Okay, so moving inside, talking about the door pads, I mean, well, it's simple, plain, functional, and that's what the Polo is meant for. Moving inside, this is the drawback of the VW Polo. You see that? Yep, unless you're 5'2", you can't fit in the back of this car. Anyway, I shall eventually try to fit inside. With that, let's move to the front. Talking about the front door pad, this is a typical VW. We have your window controls, lock and lock button, and the mirror controls as well. Let's quickly get inside. Yeah. Alright guys. So, being a typical VW, you have the typical VW gauge cluster, analog and digital. We have the GT TDI steering wheel with controls for the infotainment on the left and controls for this on the right. We have headlight controls on the right, the manual gear lever like how all cars should be. We have automatic climate control and a typical VW infotainment system. Let's check out the boot space. Hi doggy, how are you? Boot space is quite decent, as you guys can see, enough for a quick weekend trip anyway. We have this box over here and this is a subwoofer, not a stool. Under this we do have a spare wheel as well, unlike what you get in modern cars. And well, it was the boot. Being a GT, we get sporty pedals as well. And there we have it, the 1.5 litre TDI engine sitting very beautifully in this car. This engine, when it's in its stock form, produces quite a punch, and this car has been stage 1 remapped and produces approximately 140 bhp and maybe 320 Nm of torque, the same as my Laura. And as you can expect, that much of power in a small car packs quite a punch. So well, let's get driving straight away. Alright guys, so driving the Polo GT. Now the stock GT TDI produces 105 bhp and 250 Nm of peak torque, but this car is not stock. Oh no, this car has a stage 1 remap from the geeks at Likwid Tuning, and that means that this GT TDI produces 140 bhp and 320 Nm of peak torque. Let's head straight to the open road to see how this translates to in the real world. Ready? This Polo pulls like an absolute beast. I mean, this car does 0 to 100 in approximately 9 seconds, which is more than a second quicker than the stock GT. 320 Newton meters of torque in a car the size of a Polo is really something special, and the Polo handles it really very well. Torque steer is minimum, and even with this amount of torque, the car still feels quite drivable and you never feel intimidated by the amount of power on hand. Massively helping the situation are this car's set of Brembo discs and EBC brake pads, which really improve the stopping power and make the car stop on a dime. So you always know you have the stopping power to back up any of your crazy driving on the road. Taking the performance out of the window, let's see how the Polo handles as a city car. Taking this U-turn, you guys can see the car handles it very well. The steering is light and easy and weighs up really well at high speeds. Yes, even at high speeds, it's still a bit lifeless in the straight ahead position, but taking a turn slightly, you do feel the steering way up very well and you always know what the front wheels are up to. This is also greatly helped by the extra weight of the diesel engine when you compare it to the petrol car. Talking about the ride and handling balance, yes, the Polo is a stiff car, but this does not mean that it crashes through all potholes. It's only the really sharp potholes which catch the car out. Otherwise, the car rides really very well, and that means handling too is really very good. You always know what the front wheels are up to, and even with this performance tune, grip levels are quite high thanks to this car's upgraded wheels and tires. Talking about the gearbox, this is the main reason why I prefer the GT TDI over the GT TSI. Yes, the TSI has a 7-speed DSG, and if you remap it, you do get pops and bangs, the DSG farts on the gear shifts, and yes, in a drag race, the GT TSI is a faster car. But the GT TDI with its manual gearbox just makes the driving feel so much more connected, and you feel everything when you drive this car. And that feeling of involvement is what's missing in the GT TSI and present in spades with the GT TDI. The gear shifts are crisp and awesome, and it doesn't matter whether you're driving slowly or on the highway. The gear shifts are absolutely amazing, and every gear shift has a certain feel of emotion with this car. Yes, this car being a diesel, the clutch is a bit heavy, but that's forgivable for any diesel manual car with over 300 Newton meters of torque. Talking about visibility, yes, visibility is great all round. You get a good view from the front. The mirrors give you good coverage as well. I do however feel the internal mirror could have been a bit bigger, but that of course is nitpicking, and also that's the only piece in this entire cabin that feels a bit cheap as well. Rear seat space is almost non-existent in the Polo, especially if we have two tall people up front, and that I feel is one of the major issues of the Polo. However, if you are able to compromise with your passengers, I do feel the Polo, even though this generation is 10 years old, is still one of the best hatchbacks out there on the market. Yes, you don't get a diesel, and that is a bit sad, but even with the petrol engine, the GT TSI does outperform all other competitors when it comes to driving feel and performance. Yes, it may be old, as I already mentioned. You may have less features, you don't have push button start, you don't have this, you don't have that. Who needs all that? I mean, a car is meant to be driven, and that driving feel a car gives you is what you pay the money for, and that I feel is unmatched with the VW Polo. And so guys, that's my review of the VW Polo. A massive thanks to my buddy Shiva for giving me his car for review. Do follow him on Instagram, and also massive thanks to the guys at Likwid Tuning for making this car feel what it is and unlocking that extra potential and power. Do give them a follow on Instagram as well. So guys, that's my review of the VW Polo. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. If you did, give the video a thumbs up, take a second to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video really soon. Till then, take care, bye bye, stay safe and drive safe.